Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Banana Man, and I suck at Starcraft 2. Welcome back, welcome back. Last time was our first debut of how bad I am at this game, and thankfully, nothing has changed. I've gotten a couple more games in. I think my win rate has gone up just slightly. However, that doesn't mean I'm good at this game yet, or I'll ever be good at this game. Wow. Anyway, enough self-loathing aside. I recorded 5 games. But we might not do all 5. We'll see how I feel mid-recording. However, I think I did a lot better than last time. We also got some more variation. Doesn't have to be just on data seed this time. We've got Moondance, Stargazers, Tropical Sacrifice, and Waterfall. And we got every race. There was a crazy base trade in a PvP. There was a very intense all-in on Stargazers that one time I held, the other time I didn't. And another intense PvT where I was able to actually turn the tables and win a game. Yeah. So we're going to see which ones I go for, but I want to keep this video less than about an hour, so we'll see where we get with that. But with introductions out of the way, let's jump right into the game number 1. Alright. At the bottom of Moondance, we have your host, Banana Man. And at the top, we have my opponent, the Red Terran, Dodge Me. Now, normally, I practice against an AI to warm up, but this recording session, I decided, screw it, who cares, we're just gonna jump straight into ladder. And to be honest, I respect the confidence, because, you know, sometimes I'm not nearly that confident. Sometimes I have to play a handful of games to feel like my hands are fast enough, to feel like my reaction time is good enough, that I've remembered my build order. But hopefully that confidence stays. This Reaper wall, I was going to say, no need to worry too much about a Reaper wall because it can come in from either direction. So I was thinking about just blocking off here or just blocking off drops coming in. Just, I don't know. I decided just going to leave it there. And we got some scouts going in. I decided to go in for a block, which I think I do. See it? Yep. Decided it's easy, it's right there. Just to be annoying. I figure being annoying is part of the game. Might as well start attacking this probe. And this SCV doesn't do the same, actually. I don't think he does anything. He just kind of walks around. Which gives me plenty of time to do whatever I want. And I hope that includes not oversaturating my assimilator. Because, oh, well, there we go. 5 out of 3. It's fine. Decided to stop being so annoying after harassing some of the workers. And just leave the pylon there, head home. My opponent decided to not do that and let his SCV die. So I'm like, okay, feeling alright in this game. Feeling like maybe I might have a quicker reaction than my opponent. I feel confident in my abilities. So I'm getting ready for all this while still crazy oversaturated. Okay, here we go. Finally deciding maybe it's not best to have 5 workers when there should be 3 and only 3. So let's make a second gas. It's a little late, to be honest. I think it goes pylon, gateway, core, nexus, gas. So you know what? Actually, I'm not sure. But this time we've got an adept with that. Look at her in her purifier skin. Ready to do some damage. I'm not too worried about Reapers because I know that he's got 2 Marines coming out. And now 4. I don't think I scout the 4, but I know that I should be okay to just head across the map. So my stalker will come out before anything bad happens. I've got both gas going. I'm making workers for once. Look at that. Now let's look at this adept harass. I think it goes surprisingly well. Yeah, I think I do a pretty good job. So behind this, I actually got my Twilight on the way, and while my opponent has his factory and his eBay, I'm able to snipe this probe because I'm able to snipe the SCV because I already damaged it. I get the shade out of the main so I can't get trapped, and I think I could have killed. I definitely could have killed a Marine, but you know what? Just playing it safe. 1 kill on the adept. Feeling really good. Behind this, I've got Blink. I'm worried about... I noticed that I don't pay attention to the double upgrades, but I noticed the factory, and I noticed the reactor on the barracks, and I'm like, am I gonna get dropped? So I put a shield battery here. In all reality, I should probably put a pylon here to scout, and a pylon here to scout, but I don't. Instead, I'm like, okay, robotics facility, time for my standard stalker harass. I should be chronoing the blink to make sure that it's on time. Pretty sure I have to wait for that, even though I'm across the map. But in the meantime, I'm able to not deny the starport and blink out with my adept. So just constantly keeping him honest, keeping him on the other side of the map, all while I have my 5 stalkers. Yeah, and I'm pretty even with the next warp-in. I'll be pretty even on army. So honestly, feeling quite good. And prepping for my third base is on the way, so I should be making a lot more gates. Realizing that my blink isn't going to be ready by the time I'm across the side on this side of the map. That's okay, as my opponent takes a while to re-up his starport, which is kind of interesting. But behind this, I get 2 more gates, and I'm ready to move in. Sniping another worker. Getting another warp in. The stalker needs to get out of there. Okay, I do that. And I think leaving is a good call. I do get the I sacrificed the prism for not much, just a worker and a turret, I think, which is unfortunate, but I think leaving was still the right call. If I had committed to that, it would have not gone well, because I didn't have the infrastructure. But now, we're going for some infrastructure. Being a little more confident, I decided to go for Colossus and Disruptors, partially because I realize my opponents also aren't good at the game. Managed to snipe this turret, just to, like I said, I think this game I really wanted to prioritize being active on the board, being active on the... not on the board, this is a chess. Active on the map, keeping my opponent on his side so that I don't have to deal with him. Got an observer here just doing whatever. And I think at this point I could take a 4th base. Now, I don't remember when I take my 4th base, but I definitely should with almost 2, 4, 6, 7. So I'll be up to 11 gates. Yeah, 11 gates. No, this is my robo. I'll be up to 10 gates with my robo on the way, going for Colossus. So my biggest thing will be staying up with Eco. And I do scout that... I think I notice this, but let's see what I'm actually paying attention to. Nope, I do not notice the army on the way. That's unfortunate. Thankfully, as I am researching charge for useful zealots, I'm pretty sure my opponent scans before going in, which is a little interesting. As I get my thermal lance on the way, and my Colossus has already been chronoed, so I get my 2nd robo for infrastructure to support my 4th, and my opponent kind of just says where he's coming in with this, so I feel pretty confident holding, but honestly, pulling back into this battery might have been a mistake. Though, getting killed, trying to fight, I don't think I could have. Especially since I'm pretty sure he has +1. However, this Colossus is able to do so much damage. I think pulling back is right. Going in for the second warpin, which I maybe could have done here. But with no battery on the base, I think I did okay enough. I hold, and now, well, the units lost is close, but the resources lost. I'm still pretty behind because I lost quite a lot of stalkers. However, I've got my Colossus out. I should be getting a second Colossus on the way. And Thermal Lance is just about ready. So my next attack, or my next defense, will be quite strong. He's got mines, and I think I noticed that. I just don't really care enough, I guess. I don't know. I don't pay attention. I should have. But I'm pretty sure my opponent... Yeah, my opponent scans to take out the observer. Let's see what my opponent is doing. Getting ready for their fourth base.
Command center upgrade.
They've been supply blocked for quite a while. Jeez. Getting ready for some Liberator harass. Though, I think in a minute they F2, so they don't get anywhere. How many reactors is it, or tech labs is this? 3 tech labs and two bunkers. So he's going really heavy on the Marauders. I think it's the right call because I'm pretty sure Colossus are armored. I don't know if they are. I'm pretty sure they are though. So those Marauders first can tank, and they're not light, so they don't take the bonus damage. Pretty strong. I got my vision coming out here because I did notice that he was able to take out the observer. Though these observers, I think, should be closer towards here so that they can actually scout incoming Liberators. I've done a decent job spending all my money. How many workers do I have? I got 64 workers. That's a huge improvement from last time. I think I could have even more, especially as I'm going towards a 5th base. But this kind of game feels a lot better as my opponent F2s his Liberators back and doesn't do any harassment. That's okay. Yeah, I mean, I can transfer these workers back to the 4th base, actually. And I think my upgrades are a little weak this game. But to be honest, I feel really good about this. And I think after this Liberator harass, yeah, I'm going to move out. But I noticed the Liberators. I'm like, oh shoot, gotta take care of these guys. My only problem, I think, is unit composition. I've only got 1 Stalker and 3 Sentries. So, if I really want to deal with Liberators, which he's not really making, he doesn't make any more Liberators, but if there was more of an air threat, yeah, I'd get these Stalkers ready. Now, I'm also focused on this Liberator, who I lose way too many probes to. This Liberator easily should not have been able to get away with this. I think he's going towards this direction, so I'm ready to catch him, but he jukes me out. Which, I mean, hence the name, I guess. He did dodge me. So, he's able to get some harassment, though I think... Wow. Yeah, I lose 12 probes to a single Liberator. That's, yeah, pretty sloppy. I think it would have been better to just warp in some Stalkers, probably to the side, but yeah, probably here, and then deal with the thing. But then he dies to the cannons, so it's okay. At this point, I'm ready to move in, and so is my opponent. My opponent goes to move in, and I think this really shows the strength of the type of army I want to go to. With Charge Lot, Stalker, Colossus, Disruptor, because we're about to engage, and my opponent doesn't siege his tanks until way too late. So, there was no need for me to pull back, but I just kind of A-move. I don't target fire or anything, which I probably should have, but throw the Disruptor balls out, and by this point, with Guardian Shield, I kind of just stomp. And that's what I kind of like about this army. Now, I should realize, though, I should be thinking about, what if it wouldn't have been that easy? So, what if my opponent did have, excuse me, what if my opponent um, had these, siege tanks out, or just didn't go out? Because, I mean, up until this point, did he have any vision? No, he had no vision. So he was just like, alright, it's time to go. But he had no vision of where I was. And unfortunately for him, it was just at the moment where I caught his army out of position. So, I think some scouting was definitely in order here. And, yeah, he's not even looking when suddenly... Oh. He didn't see until it happened. And I just... annihilate. Yeah. That's... Ooh. It's definitely tough. But... as I was saying, what if I can't take out... What if I meet him here instead, and he's able to use these mines and siege up? So that's probably where I should be going for a run by into his fourth, assuming he had one, which he does in this case. With some, I had plenty of zealots that I threw away into tank fire. So what if I threw some of them at the fourth base instead? What if I got my warp prism back? Well, they're turrets, but what if I had gotten to the fourth base with my warp prism? A lot of things I think I could have done, things to be aware of, just in case things went sourly. But they didn't, and thankfully, we were able to win. Starting on the left of Stargazers, we have me, Banana Mans. And starting on the right, we have Gummy Squid. I'm pretty sure Gummy Squid did not good luck have fun. So, I always get suspicious when people say that, or when they say you too. It's always like, oh no. Don't know what's gonna happen, but, oh no, I just remembered what happens this game. And it happens in the next game too. Oh no. We're gonna keep it a surprise. This game, I probably should have won, but a couple mistakes kept me from winning, and that was really unfortunate. My opponent goes for hatchery first, which is a good sign for me always. I always prefer at least attempting macro instead of having to hold. But my opponent just uses the hatch and goes for an aggressive push anyway. So, not too much going on at the start of the game. I remember not to get supply blocked, though I think I could have made... I think that delays my Nexus. Honestly, there's no need for that pylon. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That pylon was not necessary. Though I get my wall, I scout the spawning pool, I scout the gas. So I'm like, alright, standard Zerg, but always ready to just get Ling flooded. Yeah, that pylon really messed me up. I could make it now, or I could have made my Nexus and then, bought it. So that's unfortunate. I should not be freestyling my build order like that. Like right here, boom. Well, it might be supply blocked at that point, but I'm not sure. Need to move my 3 pylons to gas. But instead, yeah, I got my Stargate, which Oracle control has not been great recently, but hopefully it gets better. However, my opponent scouts it and is like, okay, time to get spores, right? He gets some really early spores, but it makes sense because he scouted my Stargate. I get a Stalker to go ahead and take out his Overlord. Yeah, not too much goes on. At least at the start. Definitely gets a little crazy in the middle, but things kind of just relax themselves. I don't think... I think I need to learn how to actually wall. This Overlord jukes me out, because I'm thinking that it's going to go out this way. However, it ended up going this way. So he jukes me out, but that's okay. Starts his group spread. He's got his injects going. Gets a Roach Warren. I think defensively. Because he doesn't make too many roaches until a little bit later. But this gateway is just here in the wall, and my money, I think, is being saved up from my oracles. Though I go to start collecting for my third base. Now my opponent doesn't know that it's oracles. So maybe... Is it good for the mind game to maybe go Void Rays? And then just block scouting? Because I'm not going to do as much harassment. So the spores are nice, but they're not killer. You know? Anyway. Just things to think about. Don't know if that's actually worth it or not. I think the oracles are still good. I only go for 2 oracles. So it's not as bad when I lose them both. But I'm ready for my third base. Which I still need to get these guys to mine, even though they already have minerals. Oops. Let's see how this Oracle harass goes. Flying them both in. Sometimes I think about doing the stasis ward as harass, but... Alright. Targeting 1 drone. Targeting 2 drones. Got 2 kills. Shouldn't have attacked that extractor. That's a big mistake. Attack the queen. That could have been an extra drone. So that could have been, I think, 4 drone kills instead of 3. 4 drones for an oracle. Seems... I think seems alright. But that could have definitely been an extra drone. So, that's unfortunate. But, you know, it's some damage. Oh, it was 4 drones. So, it could have been a 5th drone. 5 drones for an oracle definitely, I think, are worth it. Is worth it. Now, please forgive me. Oh, God. Please forgive me. Let's see how sad... let's see how I respond to this. I get my gases. I get ready to make a 4th base. Get my Zealot there. That Zealot is the MVP of the game, by the way. I get ready to make my 4th base, and, it's, this pylon is blocking the 3rd base. So I have to make it right here. And let me tell you, that hurts so much. It hurts so much when that happens. I don't know. I don't know why. But I don't know why I placed the pylon there, but I did. And that's sad, to be perfectly honest. Other than that, I feel like my position is relatively strong in this game. I've got 7 gates. I'm going up for a robo. I decided to transition out of the Stargate, and I get a revelation. I see... What do I see? I see double macro hatcheries. I decide to revelate here because I know it's going to get killed, and I get vision of double Evo chambers. Roach Warren, and I get the Hydra Den. So I know that he's got some stuff going on. He's got a Hydra out, but not too much is happening. So I feel like, alright, let's do some pressure. Now, moving on to creep like this probably is suicidal. But, you know, I don't get punished for it this game, so it's fine. The queen flank goes in, but unfortunately doesn't stop me. As in this instance, with my +1, I feel like, alright, I'm ready for, I'm ready to fight. Off of this, I definitely think I could think about expanding, but I think I was more towards, yeah, I wanted to go for some aggression. I wanted to go for tech. I think after one more engagement, I was thinking about expanding. because it just seemed like the good call. But I see that he has a rather large set of lings and these Ravengers, so he's probably going to go for something aggressive, and I'm like, oh shoot, okay. Time to call back. Time to get some Zealots in to help deal with these lings. I've got Immortals to help blow up the roaches, and eventually I'll have Disruptors on the way. So this Zealot, thankfully, gets to scout so much for me. Because I notice, I think in a little, that he starts attacking the rocks. I really let his creep spread just go unfettered. But I also think I could have gone for a second layer of harassment. Though instead, I'm like, all right, let's bring this Stargate back on so we can get some Void Rays to help defend. I noticed this, and I'm like, all right, well, that seems bad. Seems like he's gonna start.
Wow, you mined all those minerals already.
He's gonna start really going for a pressure, so I'm worried. But my Zealot MVP is able to just scout all of this undetected, which feels really good. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess we'll see how this goes. I think, after a really nasty supply block, I think I definitely, oh, so much happens, let's slow it down. I think I should build a battery here. I think my positioning here is kind of funky. I think maybe it should go battery here, a second pylon in the back to keep everything charged, and maybe the Robo Bay right here. Because the choke point does help against the lings. And I've actually got the gates to... Not gonna look at this. I've got the gates to help build a pretty big army, and spend all my money. My opponent is not spending any of this. Jeez, lots of minerals. This is so sad. This is so sad. I'm not even mining the gas. Anyway, this gets pretty nasty pretty quick. I blink in the wrong direction, and I'm like, all right, time to blink back. Oh, that is not blinking back. Instead, I blink into a surround, which is quite impressive. And despite that, despite throwing away half of my army, I kind of managed to hold. I've got the super battery keeping the Immortals alive. I'm able to dodge Biles. I'm able to keep so much alive. And, oh, that Disruptor strat was so close to hitting the links. But I'm actually able to do a lot of damage just constantly with the Void Ray. And I'm floating a lot of money. But also throwing away these Zealots by just having them there. But I think in the future I also get, let's wait for it, I get a huge Disruptor shot. Right here. And boom! That felt really good. I think my opponent remembers, oh shoot, I have to deal with Disruptors. So I'm like, alright, time to clean up with the Void Rays. I think I even go for +1 on the ship weapons. Though +2 is about to finish up. Where's my forge? +2 is about to finish up. And I feel like if I'm able to hold, I feel really strong about my position. Honestly, despite it being so chaotic. I'm able to hold the front with my Zealots, as my Void Rays should be focusing today. However, my opponent super focuses on killing the this Disruptor, but doesn't manage to dodge the first shot. So, honestly, it feels like if I'm able to hold this, which I realized in a little I should put a battery here, I feel like I'm doing a relatively okay job. I managed to clean up here. I got another Disruptor on the way. I've got an Immortal here too. If this was mining efficiently, and it was mining the gas, I'd be in such a strong position. But it's okay, because my Immortal gets surrounded. Great. Just kind of derps out. Though thankfully I'm able to... Wow, that Immortal just shouldn't have died. That's unfortunate. I'm able to clean up with this Disruptor. and hold and feel like, okay, I'm in a position where maybe things will go well. The Void Rays are holding like a champ. This Disruptor up here is holding like a champ. Just got 0 kills. Strange. And I'm like, alright, let's clean up in the front. Meanwhile, what's my opponent doing behind this? He's got a Lurker Den going. He's got double upgrades, but not actually making upgrades, despite having a combined 4.5k in the bank. That's impressive. Though he's going to go for a Bane Bust, and this is what I'm kind of worried about. So I noticed this. I actually have my observer here to notice that he's coming in. And alright, I might as well start harassing them here. I noticed the Hydras. I'm able to take the Hydras out, which is nice. Behind this, what should I be doing? I'm making more observers, which is strange. I feel like making a second Disruptor would have been really strong. The Immortal is also strong. And I believe this is a choke that Lings can go through. Ling and Banes can go through. So, I don't know. This is a lot of pressure that I'm having to deal with. But I feel like if I'm able to survive just a little bit, it'll be alright. And I get my next warp in. I'm able to deal with this. This Disruptor gets sniped. I should have kept him way safer. However, this Immortal, like a champ, eats... I don't know how many Banelings that was. That had to be at least 12 Banelings. It was insane. The other two, unfortunately, get in the main base, or get in the natural. And that sucked. This Link could have done so much more damage. Though I hold. Surprisingly, I hold. So I'm like, alright, let's rebuild the wall. And this is my mistake. My opponent goes in with Hydras, and this is way too much damage to heal through. So I should have pulled back, and that's where a second battery would have been really helpful here. I pull back and hold. And if I could have done that with another warp-in of Zealots, because now these are slow Zealots. These Zealots are taking so long. If they were live, and I kept the Disruptor alive, I would have been able to hold so much better. And it's quite interesting to think about. But my opponent is able to just absolutely trash me after what felt like a strong back and forth. It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate that I wasn't quite able to pull it off. But my opponent kind of just gets in the main base, and at that point, it's GG. Starting at the same side of Stargazers, we have me. Starting on the other side, we have Numsies. Different Zerg, same map. Gonna get Ling all in a second time. But this time, there's a bit of wackiness. I actually win this game. Spoiler alert. And it's because of some unexpected heroes of the Protoss. Well, not unexpected, but some heroes of the Protoss army. They did justice for Ire, and I feel good about the decision-making in this game. Everything else was kind of lacking, but the decision-making, I'm kind of proud of. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm gonna toot it anyway. Anyway, this wall, I think walls, maybe it doesn't, but I notice, oh crap. Pool first, I think it was a 14 pool actually. Pool first, into gas, they don't even care about the hatch. Crap. It's time to lose. That's honestly not time to lose, but time to struggle is the mindset I get into. I get very worried when I see this kind of opening, especially when there's no hatch. So I'm already ready for death. And again, really early pylon for no reason. I even sent my my probe. I didn't send a probe down from the main to make the cyber core. I sent one that was scouting. It worked out with the Nexus timing, but it did not work out with the Cyber timing, which in this kind of game, when 4 lings are coming down, you better believe that's extremely important, because suddenly my Cyber Core is 4 seconds late, which means my Stalker is 4 seconds late, which means everything. So you can tell this kind of game is gonna get crazy real fast, and are they able to go through that? I guess not, but my Zealot here holding the ground, holding the fort. I don't want him to get killed, but I'm pretty sure in letting him just run like this, he eventually does, which sucks. Yep. So he goes in, and I'm like, all right, well, time to fight with the boys. I lose 3 probes. That sucks. And already lings are back, but thankfully, the timing on my Cyber Core didn't affect my Stalker being ready. If it did, you could easily see how this game spirals out of control even more than it already has. This is right off of the heels of the last game in real time when I was playing this, so I was not having it. I was ready to take out this Overlord. I was horrified about so many things, but seeing that he was just making lings, because I do have this pylon here, and seeing that he was ignoring the pylon was both comforting and not comforting. It meant I knew he had nothing behind this, but it meant that I really, really had to hold. Having this probe out to scout felt nice. And I think I'm able to mineral walk it through. Nope. This Stalker, I don't know what it's doing. But this is a weird positioning. I am able to wall off. And I think I should have made... Yeah. You can tell. This is right off the heels of the last game. Though, to be honest, this was kind of an overreaction in my opinion. And I'll get on that in a little. Because what I end up doing is I end up making a battery here and another pylon here. Now, while this probably should be a pylon, having it here and here, I think is a huge overreaction. Because while I agree that I need to defend this, this is a way too early super battery. I know that his eco is severely reduced, and my opponent struggles to get past minerals because you can't do that unless you mine them, but I guess they don't know that. So I'm able to get... I've got my Robo Bay, I cancel a gate. Why did I cancel that gateway? I don't know. But I have a safe third, and honestly, nothing's been happening, so I honestly think I could have held. And why am I warping these guys outside of the wall? I mean, to scout, yeah, but they're just gonna die. If he really was going for a full ling flip, which I know he's not, because he just killed the pylon. These are a huge mistake, and yeah, this completely throws off my entire build, or my entire game, because trying to get a 4th base is impossible, or at least really tough, because I have to break these, which I should have corrected for. I should have destroyed both of these, but I don't. Really just is unfortunate. Yeah, and I think this gate should be... this one should be back here. The second gate should be here. Pylon over here. Or maybe down here to block. With the Cyber Core here. I don't know how to properly wall. But, again, Hearthstone strikes again. This will not wall. I mean, it does functionally. But aesthetically and effectively, no. However, unlike last game, where I went for a Stargate that got scouted, I decide, let's throw some DTs into the mix. Let's get my 3rd base, and let's get some DTs ready. Let's do some crazy harass. Meanwhile, this just clogs up my naturals so much. On top of this, if I really want to get places with Colossus or Disruptor, I really need these gases, which I end up getting. Still, a little late. Not gonna get supply blocked though. Doing a good job doing that. How many? Got 30 workers. I can just check down here. I'm definitely probing, and oh man, I don't have my webcam on, but oh no, oh. Why? Why am I so bad at this game? Oh no. Again, I block my third base with my own pylon, and this is just sad. This is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I've got 3 zealots and 3 DTs going into his base, and I'm ready. Hoping he doesn't have any detection, which I didn't scout for. He could have some overseers or some spores in here, and this doesn't work. But thankfully, he doesn't. And I'm just able to destroy his mineral line. It's over. The game's not over, but his eco is severely damaged. I'm able to take out the lings, and I decide to try and snipe the hatchery, or the lair, but that's not going to work. So I decide, wow, I'm floating. So much money. These guys could go out and do something, but they don't. Instead, though, I do take out a lot. I take out a lot of lings. I take out a lot of drones. And these guys are able to hold the line. I mean, I think they end up dying because of these guys. But honestly, like, resources lost are insane. I've taken out 72 units. Mostly lings, I believe. But, I mean, after a second warp-in, I'm just annihilating him. And off of this, I should have a third that isn't blocked. I should have 8 more gates easily, and a 4th base on the way. But I was too scared to break my pylons, I guess. Though, I also decided, I mean, the game is going to get decided here and now. The game's gonna get decided here and now. I think I moved out the stalkers from here, though they got surrounded and killed by lings. But I'm like, alright. It's okay. Time to snipe the lair so he can't make any observers or overseers. Time to snipe the spawning pool so he can't make any more lings. The decision making, like I said, I think was pretty okay this game. However, the macro behind it, like, I took these gases so long ago and I haven't even touched them. I guess it's okay, because I've got just DTs reaping absolute havoc. I've got a stalker ready to take out the overseer. Yeah, this game is over. I'm so sad. Yeah, but honestly though, I'm still proud of this game because I'm able to do really well. I'm able to capitalize on one small thing, and it might just be that I have DTs, but you know what? Capitalizing on that, which I think will be the theme of this episode, if we're really going to do this, if we're really going to do themes, I stick to it, and I take out every overseer, and I take out every drone, and I destroy him. Numsies gives out some threatening words. I think in good faith. And to be honest, yeah, I win the rest of the game. I did reach out afterwards and say, GG, I hope you get the win. But honestly, yeah, without much being said, I think the biggest thing was, yeah, I really should have taken out these two. But I held the flood. And I should have taken a 4th base, and I should not have blocked my pylon. See, even with kind of decisive wins like this, where clearly the opponent is a little subpar, so am I, and we get to dance and have fun. while playing the game, because that's kind of the biggest thing. I went all over the place towards the end, but I feel really good about this victory, just because I was able to at least focus on one thing. Starting at the bottom of Tropical Sacrifice, we have Banana Mans. And starting at the top, we have Gabriel. Now, this is my first PvP of the series. It's my first PvP of a while, but I don't know much. All I know is that 2-gate, I think, is better than a 1-gate expand. So a 2-gate expand felt like what I should be doing. I also felt like a little more trolling was in order in terms of blocking bases. But I go for a double gate, and I'm not sure exactly what the meta is, whether you should be going stalkers or adepts or anything like that. But I go, I think, for adept stalker, and then after that I think I go stalker. But I could see how doing sentries is good, and stuff like that. Now, my opponent catches my probe, but I do get the pylon block. And after this, I go for a core by the pylon, so I really go to deny my opponent's natural. Behind this, I get my second gate, and everything's actually pretty standard this game, which feels nice. It feels nice to get it kind of right. My opponent getting his core, still chasing me with the probe. I go down here, and I'm like, let's really mess up my opponent here. And just go for a core on his base. And my opponent, it forces the zealot out of my opponent, which feels nice. And he even pulls, what is this, 7 probes. So 7 probes and a zealot are being forced to take out this block, and that feels really good. Now what I should do is absolutely capitalize on this. I should absolutely take... Oh, I'm looking at it wrong. But still, I thought this was me. Still, I absolutely should be taking my my base here. I absolutely should be taking my my fourth, or my natural, but I don't. Instead, I make my adept and my stalker, which I guess makes sense. I don't start warp gate yet. Come on. I think though, yeah, this is the time, the latest. It's okay to make the nexus. Again, feeling a little more adventurous with my adepts, making them in the first place. Because normally I just go for the defensive stalkers, but I try to be a little more aggressive. Behind this, finally getting gate, setting up my pylon in the front. Yeah, and I think right now my opponent has more workers than me, because I'm not making any. That's unfortunate. I should be making workers. Though I am way ahead in terms of bases and all that kind of jazz. I throw out the zealot, or I throw out the adept. I don't believe I finish. Oh, I do. Okay. To get some kills. How many do I get here? I think I get 2. I definitely could have gotten a third one for free, but I don't, which is unfortunate. I even think I could have gone in again. But playing it safe, headed back home. I think I scouted that there were 2 stalkers, and I'm like, well, he definitely could go in for something. My opponent already going for the robo and for blink, while I'm here going a little safer, still having to actually make things. I can't warp them in yet. I don't know if it's right to chrono out the warp. I probably could have. I do know it's right to be making workers because I'm stuck at 23, but it's okay. I have my Twilight on the way. My Twilight is later than my opponent, but my infrastructure, my bases are stronger. And I'm definitely sure that with this battery coming up, which it will be in time, especially with these 4 stalkers, coming in just in time, I should be able to hold. This force field didn't make too much sense. I probably should have waited for when he was retreating to cut off and hopefully snipe a stalker, but unfortunately I didn't get that. Instead, instead, I'm not making... I mean, I'm making workers, 2 workers at a time, but, eh. The second battery is, I think, a little too much. I definitely think it's a little too much. I think I should go for a... I already made a pylon. I think I could go for a second gateway right here, and go for my own robo, because I don't have a robo yet. Because I want to go mass blink stalker disruptor. That feels like it'd be fun to play. However, in trying to find his stalkers, I get caught off guard. I should have kept moving here, but instead he gets my sentry, which does not feel good, and he has blink, so I've only started blink now, so that feels really bad. Yeah, he's just able to take out... Well, that one actually gets to live, but thankfully with a super battery, I'm able to actually push him back. Not snipe the zealot. Man, it's okay though. I'm getting... What am I getting behind this? Nothing really. I should be chronoing my blink. I want to get blink out as fast as possible, since my opponent having blink right now is huge. I do block the blink in, which is kind of nice. I don't think you can stand here. Can you blink from here to here? I don't think so. I actually think this blocks the blink, which was unintentional. Anyway, my opponent going in, I do have more stalkers. I think it's... Yeah, I have 12 stalkers to his 9, and I have 10 more workers than him, so this is actually going really well. And I go for the forge first, which I think if I had more workers and I was actually paying attention, I could get my robo out. But I was a little focused on defense with mass stalker, which makes sense. But I'm ready to get my +1, because I was like, oh, I think a +1 would be... A quick +1 would kind of make the difference. Especially if we were both going mass stalker. I didn't know when he was getting his upgrades, but it felt like the strong choice. Now, I think from the high ground, yeah, I'm able to see... That was the other camera. I'm able to see, and I don't think... Well, first of all, he doesn't have high ground vision, so he can't even blink up there. He'd have to have an observer or his prism. Where is his prism? I guess it took a while to get there. Now, this engagement, I think, goes pretty poorly for me, and I'm not sure why. But resources lost. Yeah, I've lost more stalkers for sure. It's rather interesting. I think maybe he just had a better concave than me, because I was kind of clumped up. Here I decided to go in, and I think this engagement is actually pretty strong. I'm trying to look for him over here, which he scouts me, interestingly enough. He doesn't have the high vision to blink. I don't think he knows you need high vision for that. But I should have blinked back the one stalker, but that's okay. I do it in clumps. In the moment, I guess there's a little less... There's a little more tension, so it's hard to be as precise, but I am able to get here, forcing a recall. I think I get this stalker. So, honestly, I'm owning my opponent. And this is, I think, where we talk about capitalizing. How do I capitalize off this? Well, first, I think I get a third base, and second, I think I keep going, because I just took out so many of his units. Now, I don't know how many gates he has. So let's say he had my level of gates. I have 5 gates. He could get 5 stalkers, and then it's a little more even. But if he's trying to get a third base, if he's not being optimal, then I think almost in every circumstance I should be pushing. Instead, I go a little slow. I take my third base. I finally got my robo up, going for immortals, because I believe at +2 they 3-shot stalkers. At some upgrade level, they're really strong against stalkers in general, because stalkers are armored. So it felt nice. His observer in my main base, I never knew about, but what is it looking at? I mean, yeah, I don't get what it's supposed to be seeing. I guess other than that, it doesn't see that my guys are here, or it doesn't. It sees that I don't see that these zealots are coming. However, with these zealots coming, I kind of have I catch myself. I'm like, should I go? Should I not? And then I decide, you know what? My army is probably huge compared to his. So while I could go back and I could recall, instead I sacrifice all of my probes for some reason. But I decide, you know what? Probius is going to lead the charge. Don't know why he's in my army. But I'm going to snipe this battery, and I'm going to destroy my opponent. And honestly, I think that was the right call. Except for my immortals not doing anything. Honestly, this felt like the right call. My opponent's sniping my Nexus. Not sure why exactly, but that's okay. Because I'm able to build some defenses in the main, or in the natural. I'm able to have a super battery in a little, and I depower his main base. And honestly, it feels really good to be able to capitalize on my advantage. And I definitely win this base rate trade. I definitely win it before he does. And he can't recall, because I'll just destroy his, 9 Zealots versus 21 Stalkers and 3 Immortals? No, there's no way he wins. So, it actually feels really good to get this right before he gets his Dark Shrine. And my opponent leaves the game. Honestly, a really clean win on my part. I feel like my decision-making was really strong in this session. I feel like my macro is getting a little better. But definitely my decision-making, at least this round, at certain points. Like I said, I definitely could have fought him at that moment, which means if I fight him, I get a Robo Bay, and I get a 4th base. If I was on 4 bases, this would have been insane. But even still, a really, really strong, lead that I just didn't let go. Now, I could have capitalized on it more. However, it felt really good. It felt really good to take advantage of this. And yeah, it goes to show that if you're able to keep one strong advantage, for me it was army and upgrades, and eco. But even if it was just army and eco, you can really capitalize on a lot. And so I think that's definitely worth noting. Final game of the episode. I know this one went on for 5 games, but I feel like they all are worth reviewing. And if not for you, then definitely for me. So we have Banana Man's at the bottom, and we have Just Fit with the very cool synth skin. I like that these guys have saw blades. I think it's really cool. I actually think they get their own, if you listen. They get their own, like, mining drill noise. I know that's how it is for, it's even different here. Yeah, I didn't realize that. It's definitely different for how they attack, which is super cool. Anyway, this wall is okay. Looks so cool. Look at them. I mean, don't look at them anymore. They're kind of gross. But I miss the block. That's fine. I just go to scout and I don't see any pools. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna get somewhere. I'm gonna have time to think at least. If the pool is this late, I'm at least gonna have something when the Ling all-in comes, because this is my last game of the day. Oh yeah, listen to that. Listen to that. Come on, attack him again. Listen to this. Oh, you're gonna get him. Come on. Yeah. Listen to that. That's so cool. I can't follow it on the edge. It's neat. That's like how in HOTS, Here's the Storm, they changed the, whatever. This guy's got buzzsaws too. Huh. It's like, Edward Scissorhands, except it's that plus Chainsaw Massacre. Anyway, Opponent getting plenty of scouting. I don't think I deal with this Overlord once. Which both matters and doesn't matter. I feel like... Is he... No, I can't see him, but he doesn't look like he's fully over the pillar, does he? I guess he is. I guess he is. Anyway, I am horribly supply blocked. See, this time I went for core and Nexus first, and I didn't go for pylon, and I got horribly supply blocked, so... ooh. Really shows you how poorly things went for me. I think I was too focused on I was too focused on the micro here and the scouting. But they kill my probe, and I'm like, oh, not again. So I walled this off, but I remember that that wall in the last game really screwed me over. So I cancel and decide to just hold with the Stalker, which I think is the right move. Where's my other pylon? Oh, it's just not there. My Twilight is on time. Definitely not definitely not starting at this time like it has before. Just getting a gate in the wall. Yeah, feeling pretty good. Meanwhile, my opponent is on the third base. Starting his third base and starting his creep spread. Nope, no energy for creep spread. So, I mean, one in the ramp and the natural, but that one's can't be more important than getting out on the map with creep, right? Oh well, getting a Roach Warren, going into a lair. I don't have any scouting, I don't think, this game outside of what my probe did, but I'm able to get my Robo, and I decide to go again for the Dark Shrine. This Stalker is crucial. If my Overlord, like this Overlord, looks like he's about to start, he's here to scout. But I don't see. I deny this scout, but I think in a little bit I actually end up putting this guy in my main control group and pulling him away. He should have stayed here. For sure, he should have stayed here. And I think in the future I'm going to keep him there. But I also got a little worried about these lings. This guy gets caught out. Stalker for an Overlord. Probably not worth it. I definitely should have done 2 or 3 Stalkers. But here, seeing that those lings were out and wanting to get a third, yeah, I pull these guys out, and I eventually pull out this Stalker, which is a big mistake. I put him back in the wall, but this guy just hangs here for a little bit, which is odd. I'm not sure why. I don't know why you just don't go in immediately. My opponent floating 800 minerals. That's a lot of money. And yeah, the moment he comes in, I attempt to I pull the Stalkers out, so I'm not able to deny any scouting. So I get my 2 Stalkers here, but now my opponent can respond with Overseers, with Spores, and that's unfortunate. However, I'm competing pretty well with the Eco. I've got almost 40 workers to his 50. It's not great, but it's something. And I'm going to go for some DTs, which maybe I forgo the DTs and I go for Archons. That'd be interesting. Though that also is pretty high micro. But I take these 2 DTs and I'm like, alright, now, going to the... I'm just thinking about strategy at this point. If I know I've been scouted, maybe I don't go to the main base. Maybe the main base is way too much to worry about. Maybe I go to the third. I spawn in another DT over here to go hold down the fourth. Especially if I know if he's expanding a bunch, which I don't. But I decide, okay, we're going to go in the front. We're going to go frontal assault. Get ready to attack, which he scouts, but like he sees the move out, but doesn't do much for it, which is interesting. DTs go into the main, start taking out drones left and right. which feels good. They're able to see him because why? Oh, here's the Overseer. So I'm actually able to do quite a lot of damage. And I think here... Oh. Here's the problem. Here come the lurkers. I'm like, this is going to suck. Let's snipe the Overseer. Okay, so now he doesn't have detection. So I should be throwing in my... I should be throwing in my DTs while there's no Overseer out, because they can't see him. So they can? No, they can't. Why did they kill the... Is it because the AoE? Because it's in a line, and they were in the line, and it sniped them? Is that possible? I didn't know that. That's an interesting interaction. Anyway, off of this, I have nothing, which really sucks. I'm not able to capitalize the chaos that I've made this entire game. I really should go home. Honestly, I should go home. Instead, I go for Zealots and DTs, and I think I should get a 4th base. And I think I should get 4 more gates. Instead, I mean, the chaos is good, but it's not doing... I mean, at some point it's just going to be me bleeding out resources, especially when I'm not spending them. And on top of that, jeez, man, these gases, these are my 3rd and 4th gases when I should be up at 6 gas. If I was up on 6 gas and 4 more gates, I could be attacking the 3rd base, which I haven't been doing. Do I know that there's a 3rd base? I don't. But I think it's safe to assume. And even if not, I send them into the natural. I send them here. Like, it kind of irks me how I notice what I could have done. And it's a little unfortunate that I didn't fully take advantage of this kind of stuff. So, yeah. It's just what it is. But behind this, I really could go up to way more gates. I could go up to way more gates. I could go up to a 4th base. Probably want to take my 4th base here. I can get cannons. I have upgrades going. Here I finally start spending. But I also don't have the gas. I don't have the gas for anything. I don't have the gas for disruptors. I don't have the gas for upgrades. I don't have the gas for DTs. You know, it's unfortunate that I didn't capitalize, because I think I'm ahead. Especially if I don't kill this Overlord. If I don't sorry for hitting the mic. If I don't waste my money like this, because he goes in. I also sniped the lurker down, which is nice. But especially when he goes in, kind of like last, kind of against Bad Boy Bert. Was that his name? He's a much bigger army, and I've kind of forced my opponent into an all-in. And unfortunately, I don't have the eco to do it. Now, what I should do, I go to fight this. I absolutely should go counterattack with all these zealots, and just kind of forget about the natural or the 3rd base. Go here, which I end up doing, but go here, hole up here. Make sure I have an observer. Do I have an observer? I do not. So my disruptor's about to finish. Chrono out my observer and just go for it. But unfortunately, that's not what I do. Unfortunately, I'm like, oh, I have the observer. I'll get the surround, but it's quite messy what ends up happening. And I get in there, but there's just not enough. And I don't have enough infrastructure to capitalize. I miss a disruptor shot. That would have been on 2 lurkers. That would have been really good. Imagine. I mean, I think about it afterwards, just leaving this warp prism here. What am I doing here? 2 zealots. Those are really going to make the difference. Like, unfortunately, I just I think it all crumbles here because I don't have a good counterattack, which I totally should have. I totally could have. If there were two DTs here, if there was a DT, well, there's a spore here. But if there's a, I don't know. It just would have added more chaos, you know? I don't think there was a spore there earlier, but even like 10 zealots, 2 DTs and 10 zealots. Like, I mean, I go in here to cause some chaos, but it's just not enough. And I buy myself time, but what do I use that time for? Not to get gases, not to make more gates, not to make units. I have so much money. What am I doing? Yeah, this is really just... I think this is fatigue. Kind of like last episode. This is fatigue after, because I don't ladder. Fatigue after 6 games instead of 3. And not capitalizing off of my wins. Which is crazy important. If I had just stuck on top of it, like I'm spending my money now. Look at this. I'm spending my money now. I'm going up to, what is this? This is 11 gauge with gas. Why am I not taking these gases? I'm taking all the gases that are most vulnerable compared to the ones in my natural. It's kind of absurd. I'm still ahead in upgrades. These probes are just doing whatever. Man, it's unfortunate that I'm not able to act, because I feel like my skills are slowly improving. But of course, I mean, it's still obvious that sorry, let me just zoom in there. It's still obvious that they're not. So, you know, a bit of a mess. And eventually my opponent goes in and just burrows into this choke. And there's nothing I can do. There's really nothing I can do. So I GG in a little bit. But I hope this goes to show that, yeah, if you fail to really keep momentum, then the game kind of just completely can turn its head, and you end up losing. It's kind of crazy how punishing this game can be if you're not on the ball every time. But you know, that makes when you are very rewarding. Yeah. But, you know, this game definitely is a good lesson that you gotta keep something going, you know, whether it be infrastructure, whether it be counterattacks, whether it be creating chaos. You know, I definitely created chaos this game, but I didn't do enough with it. So once you find something, you gotta hold on to it, and you gotta strangle people to death with it, because otherwise this game becomes a loss. Whereas in the other couple games, I took an advantage and I held it and I won, and I turned chaos into my advantage. But in this game, chaos only delayed my mistakes, or they delayed my victory because my mistakes couldn't keep up with it, if that makes sense. That was very poorly explained. It's okay. Point is, my name has been Banana Man, and I still very much suck at Starcraft 2. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Today is Tuesday, October 25th. I'm thinking of making Fridays tournaments. I'm thinking of doing a tournament on Friday. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. We'll see how it goes. But doing semi-daily, at least attempts, you know, sessions, I might start doing tourneys on Fridays, and that would be really interesting. I really want to commit to StarCraft. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. But thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic day.